Hey everyone. Um, Here's to another week of online lessons. Now, you guys know that I talked about last week about how your backpacks are due, and I didn't really get very many backpacks from people. So, this whole week is going to be about your backpack for first period. You're not going to have anything else other than planning for your backpack, recording and turning in your backpack, and then thinking about how you did and what you can do for next time if you end up having to do it again. Hopefully, everyone will get on that first try so you don't have to worry too much. So, here's what you're going to do. Uh, I posted some stuff last week about how to record your backpack under the stream, but all of it I've put under JSPS Backpack on your Google Classroom. So week 4 videos, that's where the video I recorded last week and this video is going to go. So watch those first. And then you do have a bell ringer, this week's bell ringer. You can see right here, it's going to be these pictures, right? So you're looking at these 4 panels, and the first question is going to be about this third panel here, and the fourth question is going to be, sorry, the second question is going to be about this fourth panel here. So this is where you can find the answer to the first question, or you can find the answer to the second question. So number 1 is asking, behind the anger, how does the man feel? And you could say the man really feels, and you want to use some of our vocabulary words that we learned, right, about feelings and emotions to help you find the word that best describes this picture. So that's for number 1. Number 2 says, why does he feel so sad on the inside? Right? He feels sad because, and you're gonna look at that second picture right there for number 2, that very last picture, um, and think about, why does he feel so sad? What's going on in that picture? Try to describe it. And again, you can use some of those words that we learned to help you describe what's going on in that picture. So this should be a pretty easy bell ringer for this week, because I want you to really focus on that backpack. So first, you have a few backpack questions. Hopefully they should be pretty easy. Number 1, what do you have to do for your JSPS backpack recording? Remember, on your iPad, you're going to record, right? Not a video of you, but you're going to have whatever slides are on your are part of your backpack defense, and you're just going to record your voice over that. So we don't need to be able to see your face, right? We just need to be able to see the slides, and then you're going to go through and use your screen recording option. And again, I talk about more in the video, but use your screen recorder to record whatever is on your screen at the time. So um, then number 2, what kind of help do you need to get finished? So everyone's kind of in a different place. Some people are done, some people are and still need a lot of work, but maybe you just need help turning it in. So ask me if you need help to do that. Maybe you need help, you know, like with something from the very beginning. That's okay too. Just let me or one of your other teachers know that you need help, right? And number 3, how are you going to turn it in? So there's a whole bunch of different ways you could record your video and turn it in. So you could turn it in on Google Classroom on the assignment right here, JSPS Backpack, right? See, it was due April 27th. So you could turn it in there, your video. You could turn it in on Google Drive, like when you make the file and upload it, you can share it with catherine.punsley@jefferson.kyschools.us. Remember, you can always find my email address right on here, or you could just send me an email with it. Now, if so, you'd open up your email, you'd type in this email address, and you'd add the backpack video to that email. Now, emails, they can't work very good with files that are too big. So if your video's on the long side, it might not work through email. So try one of those other 2 first if you think that your video is really long. remember, if you need to talk to me outside class, we do have, classes in the morning. But if you need to meet with me, you can also meet with me during my office hours, right, from 2:30 to 3. But if you want to meet with me some other time, there's always this meeting link right here you can click. And then when you click on it, it'll ask if you want me to email you, to call you, or to video chat you, whatever is best. So tell me which one would be helpful for you so we can get that backpack done. And there's also a picture on here to remind you of where you can turn it in, right? Under classwork, JCPS backpack, that's where you want to turn it in. That's probably the easiest way to turn it in and grade it. So yep, just a reminder right here. That's probably the best way. If it's still confusing, you could try some other way as long as I get it. But those will be your best options. And then when you're done, you're going to do this backpack self-reflection. So what you're going to do is for each part of your backpack, you're going to go through and you're going to give yourself points based on how you did. So you can see at the bottom for scoring guidelines, the best score you can get for each part is 2 and the worst score is 0. So you're going to put 0, 1, or 2 for each one of these. And then at the very end, you're going to add it up and put your total score, right? It's pretty much how like we graded these last year. Then when you're done, you're going to answer 4 questions. So first one is, what was the strongest aspect of your defense, the best part? Number 2, which artifact, so which project, which assignment, which work you did, right, showed your strengths, the good part of you the most. And then number 3, what could you suggest to make the defense even better? So if you like have to do it a second time, right, what could you do to make it even better that second time? And then number 4 is anything else that you think about. So that's what you're going to be doing for the reflection when you are done with your backpack and it's been turned in. Just think about it. Hopefully most of you will be good on that first try, but just in case, this will give you some stuff to think about. So I know this is probably hard to fill out on your own, this self-reflection. So I'm going to do an example for you to see what kind of points you would get. Now this is someone's backpack from last year. And last year, we expected different things. I'm sorry, the backpack's a little bit harder this year, but that's okay. We're going to kind of look at this and see if what was good about it for what we required this year and what wasn't so good about it. So I took off the student's name and information, and so we're just going to kind of look at what they did. So this person did a really good job in their introduction. They talked about how they came to learn English, the countries they were from, the schools they went to, and then this part is really important, where they talk about how resilient they are and how they never give up, because that's going to transition them into the next slide for prepared and resilient learner. So if I were to grade this person, I would say a 2 for their introduction, a 2 for their transition, and then we're going to go to prepared and resilient learner. So the first thing we'll look for is to see, do they explain their MAP scores? Do they have their MAP scores? And do they have their strengths and weaknesses for reading and math, right? Then they need to talk about their goals and their plan. And then they need to show that they have something for English and for math class. Let's go through and see which one of those that they have. So they have their scores. That's good. They talk about their goals. They talk about their plan for Study Island and IXL, right? And so we see a little bit of all of that. They mentioned their strength in math. They mentioned that they're strong in math and weak in reading. So that's a lot of good stuff on there, but I don't know if it's everything, right? So they get 2 points for explaining what their current score is and for saying which one's their strength and which one's their weakness. They talk about their goals and their plans, but we don't see any artifacts for reading or math with prepared and resilient learners. So that's going to be a 0. So they're going to lose some points there. Right. So this next one, so our next one is going to be globally and culturally competent citizen. And for each one of the other categories, for the other skills, you're going to look for 3 things. Does it say what your artifact, right, your project or work was? Does it explain why you picked it? And does it show that you got better at the skill? So remember that they kind of did backpacks differently last year, so the examples might not get all the points, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas. So this person tried to put 2 skills on here, and so let's see if we can find the globally and culturally competent one. Okay, so this person said that the project made me responsible and help them prevent water pollution, so they're more careful about what they throw down the sink. But they just show a picture. They don't really describe what the assignment is. So going back, we might not give them a very high score in that. So they try to explain their improvement, but they don't say what the artifact was or why they picked it, right? So you're just going to go through and do that for every single one. You're going to do that for emerging innovator, effective communicator, productive collaborator, explain, and then you're supposed to explain why you're ready to transition to high school. Now this person, they don't have any slide like that, right? They totally skip that. They just go to a thank you slide. So they wouldn't be able to get points for that. Now they could get points for some kind of closing, but they're not going to get points for not saying why they're ready to transition to high school. So once you've gone through all those, right, you're going to get to the presentation section. In the presentation section, right, you're not going to be able to tell what your body language is, but we are looking for correct grammar, and we are looking for your voice and tone. Now this student, they presented it in person. They didn't actually record theirs, so I can't really tell you, what their voice and tone was. But when I listen to your videos, I'll be able to tell that you're speaking in a nice loud voice, that you're talking the way you would talk to a teacher and not the way you would talk to a friend, right? And we can make sure that it's organized, right? That they clearly planned and thought it out, just like remember they had a really good transition. So those kinds of things are a part of good planning. That they use technology and other pictures well. So we can see the student has some nice pictures, but maybe the pictures, they don't have very much to do with what they're talking about. So maybe they could have put a picture of their country or their hobbies instead, right? And then what about spelling, punctuation, those kinds of things, making sure that all of that stuff is good. So when you're done, you're going to put some kind of total score down here, and then you're going to write a reflection. So what was the best part of the defense? So this student, I thought they had a really strong introduction. So the strongest aspect or the best part of the defense was their introduction, right? And then which artifact best represented their strengths? So we have to look at the different assignments they did, right, to see which one really shows how they did over the year. So I think this is a pretty cool assignment, right? So they could say their volcano project was the best one. So the volcano project showed my strengths, right? What could you do to make the defense even better? Well, this student, they needed more, right, artifacts and projects, and they probably could have used um, some explanation for why they're ready for high school. So it could be better if they showed more projects and if they explained why they are ready for high school. And so if I was writing it for me, I'd say why I'm ready for high school, right? Because these questions are asking about you. Obviously, I've already graduated high school. All right, so finally, any other comments or anything else you want to say? So, um, looking through, you could say something like, uh, you know, uh, they spoke in a nice loud voice. The backgrounds were really pretty. Whatever other thing that you thought of that made it good or bad, or that you were thinking about when you're going over your project, right? And if you go through it and you're like, man, I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's not even the end of the week, go back and change it. You still have some time to fix it. You still have some time to ask me about it. So once you've kind of gone through and written, your self-reflection, I'm going to put this example up there for you to see, right? Then you can always ask me for more help if you need it. Or you are just done with your backpack. Hopefully, first time's a charm, and you don't need to resubmit yours. But I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone's backpack. Everyone showing me, that they are ready for high school, because this is pretty much it. You got about a month left, and so we want to see those backpacks, and we're excited for me to share them with the other teachers, so that we can give you good feedback and let you know how you did. All right. So let me know once again if you have any questions. Otherwise, I might see you in class tomorrow morning. All right. And yeah, it was good talking to you again. Bye.